Being caught talking to yourself can feel embarrassing, and some people even stigmatize this behavior as a sign of mental instability. But decades of research show that talking to yourself is completely normal. Most, if not all of us, engage in some form of self-talk every day. So why do we talk to ourselves? And does what we say matter? Dig into the psychological benefits of positive self-talk. Is it normal to talk to yourself? Researchers say that the act of talking to yourself, self-talk or self-directed talk, is a common and normal behavior at any age. It may help people find mislaid items and understand instructions, among other benefits. Although people often associate self-talk with mental health issues, healthcare professionals consider it normal at all ages and even beneficial in some circumstances. In this article, we explore why a person might self-talk. We will also look at its benefits and when it may indicate a mental health condition. Is talking to yourself normal? Researchers have been studying self-talk for a long time. In the 1880s, scientists were particularly interested in what people say to themselves, why they talk to themselves, and the purposes of self-talk. Research defines self-talk as a verbal expression of an internal position or belief, meaning it expresses inner feelings, non-verbal thoughts, and intuitions about a situation through speech. The person only intends to direct their speech at themselves. While children often talk to themselves, it should not be a cause for concern for parents or caregivers. It is a way of developing language, staying stimulated during a task, and improving performance while completing tasks. The habit of self-talk may continue into adulthood and is generally not a problem. Is talking to yourself healthy? Self-talk may have several benefits. It causes no significant health risks unless a person also experiences other symptoms of a mental health condition, such as hallucinations. While performing a task with a set of instructions, self-talk may improve control over the task, concentration, and performance. It may also enhance problem-solving skills. A 2012 study examined how self-talk affects visual search tasks. The findings suggest that self-talk while looking for a particular object, such as a lost item of clothing or set of keys, or trying to find products in a grocery store, may help a person find them sooner. Research also suggests there could be benefits to engaging in self-talk during sport, depending on how the person self-talks and what they say. For example, self-talking in a motivational or instructional way could improve performance. However, although negative self-talk may increase motivation in sport, it may not improve performance. Types of self-talk. There are 3 categories of self-talk that differ depending on the tone of voice. These include positive self-talk, encourages and reinforces positive beliefs about a person. Engaging in positive self-talk may decrease anxiety and improve concentration and focus. Negative self-talk usually involves critical and discouraging dialogue. Neutral self-talk. This type of self-talk is not significantly positive or negative. People may use it to give instructions themselves rather than reinforcing or encouraging a particular belief or emotion. People may also refer to talking to yourself as overt and covert self-talk. Overt talk is self-directed speech that other people can hear. Covert talk is speech that occurs internally that no one else can hear, for example, by mouthing speech rather than speaking out loud. Causes. There are several reasons why a person might self-talk, including regulating emotions. Self-talk may help regulate and process emotions. For example, if a person self-talks about feeling nervous or angry, it could help them by directing their focus to improve their nerves or anger, controlling their emotions, thinking about how to respond to their feelings at that moment, reducing anxiety. A 2014 study suggests that people with anxiety, including social anxiety, could benefit from engaging in self-talk. The researchers found that people referring to themselves in the third person could distance themselves from their distressing feelings and process, regulate, and analyze these emotions to help reduce anxiety. Engaging in self-talk may also decrease anxiety after stressful events. How to stop talking to yourself. If self-talk interferes with a person's life, there are ways to reduce this behavior. Writing down self-talk in a journal may help a person transfer thoughts from their mind, organize thought processes, and manage stress and anxiety. Maintaining a journal can help people identify everyday situations that cause them to self-talk and become more aware of what could trigger these scenarios in the future. Practicing the shifting of self-talk to internal thoughts when they occur, or mouthing speech instead of vocalizing it, may also reduce self-talking. When to seek help. People may find their self-talk affects their mental health if they are negative and self-criticize when they talk to themselves. In these situations, they should speak with a mental health professional to find ways to improve self-esteem and adjust self-talk to focus on being more positive and encouraging. Schizophrenia. If a person self-talks as part of a hallucination, they should seek help from a healthcare professional. Self-talk and hallucinations may indicate a mental health condition, such as schizophrenia. A person with schizophrenia may experience changes in their behavior and thoughts, such as hallucinations or delusions. Hallucinations cause a person to see, hear, smell, taste, or feel things that are not part of the world around them and are only present in their mind. Hearing voices and responding to them is a common hallucination in schizophrenia. These voices and sensations seem real to the person experiencing them. Healthcare providers state that the brain reacts to these voices in the same way as if they were engaging in a conversation with a real person. People with schizophrenia may also withdraw from the world, losing interest in everyday interactions with friends and family, and finding it hard to express emotions. Summary. For most people, talking to yourself is a normal behavior that is not a symptom of a mental health condition. Self-talk may have some benefits, especially in improving performance in visual search tasks. It can also aid understanding in longer tasks requiring following instructions. Self-talk is not a harmful act to engage with, and parents or caregivers with children who often talk to themselves should not be worried. It is natural for a person to have an internal monologue while engaging with tasks and processing thoughts and emotions. They may choose to verbalize this inner monologue, which is common. Why talking to yourself is the first sign of success. A London dentist stopped looking in other people's mouths and started opening his own. The results may be something for everyone to chew on. Eugene Gamble spent most of his career as a dentist in London, quietly and diligently working on people's teeth. Then, 3 years ago, he decided to give up his life's work to become an entrepreneur. There was just one problem. He was no good at business. As his ideas failed, his confidence plunged. He could have gone back into dentistry, but he was determined to succeed in the business world. So, he hired a business coach who gave him an odd piece of advice. He told me speak out loud, says Gamble, who helps wealthy people invest in residential real estate. That's right. He was instructed to talk to himself. It was weird because it was something new to me, he says. I didn't believe that it could work, but once I tried it, it made perfect sense. You don underscore, Tino everything you underscore, re going to say and dash. You can even surprise yourself. Talking to ourselves may seem strange because we tend to associate speaking out loud to nobody in particular as a sign of mental illness. However, there's a growing body of research to indicate that self-talk can help memory recall, confidence, focus, and more. It's not an irrational thing to do, says Gary Lupian, an associate professor of psychology at the University of Wisconsin, who has studied how hearing ourselves speak can impact our memories. You don't know everything you're going to say. You can even surprise yourself. His work, which is one of the most cited studies in this field, had people look at objects on a computer screen. Some had to say the name of the item out loud, while others were instructed to remain silent and keep the word in their head. The result? The ones who said the word out loud were able to locate the objects on the screen more quickly. A similar experiment had people say the names of common grocery store items out loud. They then had to find those items by looking at photographs. The ones who said the words found the foods faster. Saying a name out loud is a powerful retrieval cue. While we all know what a banana looks like, saying the word aloud helps the brain activate additional information on that item, including what it looks like, he says. We will, of course, find the banana at the store regardless, but we'll find it faster if we speak the name. Saying a name out loud is a powerful retrieval cue, says Lupien. Think of it as a pointer to a chunk of information in your mind. Hearing the name exaggerates what might normally happen if you just bring something to mind. Language boosts that process. Feel better with self-talk. And Wilson Schief, a former psychologist and now author and speaker, often encouraged her clients to speak to themselves. Not only did it improve her clients' memories, but it also changed the way many of them felt. For instance, if a patient was angry, she'd tell them to say out loud what they were upset about. The anger would then disappear. She believes it has something to do with who is listening to the words. All of us need to talk to someone who's interesting, intelligent, knows us well and is on our side, and that's us, she says. We're probably the most interesting person we know. Knowing ourselves and how we feel can help us improve. We have to say the right words for this to work. Studies suggest that Schief is onto something. In 2014, the University of Michigan's Ethan Kross released a paper saying that self-talk can make us feel better about ourselves and instill a confidence that can help us get through tough challenges. However, we have to say the right words for this to work. Kross, along with several colleagues, conducted a series of experiments that had people describe emotional experiences using their own names or words like you, he and she. He found that talking in the third or second person helped people control their feelings and thoughts better than those who spoke in the first person. In another study, Kross, who outlined his research in the Harvard Business Review, asked people to refer silently to themselves in the second or third person while preparing for a speech and found they were more confident and performed better on tasks than those who used only first-person words. The results were so profound, wrote Kross, that he now gets his young daughter to speak to herself in the third person when she is distressed. Talking to ourselves has many other benefits. Our findings are just a small part of a much larger, ongoing stream of research on self-talk, which is proving to have far-reaching implications. Not only does non-first-person self-talk help people perform better under stress and help them get control of their emotions, it also helps them reason more wisely. Improving muscle memory. While Gamble is not yet talking to himself in the third person, he finds it too strange. His coach has told him to repeat self-affirming comments out loud, such as, "Don't do your best, do whatever it takes." He has taken that advice to heart and says it works. Self-talk has also helped him nail presentations. Self-talk has also helped him nail presentations. Before he meets with a wealthy investor, he goes over his presentation out loud. Gamble first writes it down and then reads it out over and over again, fixing words he stumbles upon. By hearing himself speak, he can better organize his thoughts, he says. He also remembers the presentation better. It's muscle memory, he says. It's like how I was taught to play the piano. I'd keep playing the entire piece until I could fix the weakness. Talking to ourselves out loud is sometimes frowned upon, and we may not want to chat constantly with ourselves in public, which is why most of us do not do it. Children do, however, and there is a lot of research that shows that self-talk among kids is an important part of their development. A 2008 study, for instance, found that 5-year-olds who talk to themselves out loud do better at motor tasks than when they're quiet. Gamble believes he now has more confidence than ever. While there are other things that have contributed to his successful transformation from dentist to real estate entrepreneur, talking out loud has certainly played a part. Sometimes I have to take a step back and say, is this really happening? Is it really this effective? He says. I can tell you that I'm in a much better position now than I was in 3 years ago. Talking aloud has produced results.